by imperialism. It is up to us to organize the people as the reactionaries in China. It is up to us to organize the people to overthrow them. Everything reactionary is the same. If you do not hit it, it will not fall. This is also like sweeping the floor. As a new rule, where the broom does not reach, the dust will not vanish by itself. The enemy will not perish of himself. Neither will the Chinese reactionaries nor the aggressive forces of US imperialism in China step down from stages of history of their own accord. A revolution is not a dinner party, or writing an essay, or painting a picture, or doing embroidery. It cannot be refined so leisurely and gentle, so temperate, kind, courteous, restrained, and magnim- magnanimous. I don't know. A revolution is an insurrection, an act of violence by which one class overthrows the other. Chiang Kai shek always tries to wrestle every ounce of power, ounce of gain from the people. And our policy is to give him retaliation and to fight for every inch of land. We act in this fashion. He always tries to impose war on the people, one sword in his left and another in his right. We take up swords. We take up swords too, following his example. As Chiang Kai shek is now sharpening his swords, we must sharpen ours too. Who are our enemies? Who are our friends? This is a question of the first importance for the revolution. The basic reason why all previous revolutionary struggles in China achieved so little was their failure to unite with real friends in order to attack real enemies. A revolutionary party is the guide of the masses, and no revolution ever succeeds when the revolutionary party leads them astray. To ensure that we will definitely achieve success in our revolution and will not lead the masses astray, we must pay attention to uniting with our real friends in order to attack our real enemies. To distinguish real friends from real enemies, we must take we must make a general analysis of the economic status of various classes in Chinese society and of their respective attitudes towards the revolution. Our enemies are all those in league with imperialism, the warlords, the bureaucrats, the comprador class, the big landlord class, and reactionary section of intelligentsia attached to them. The leading force in our revolution is the industrial proletariat. Our closest friends are the semi-proletariat and the petty bourgeoisie. As for the vaculant middle bourgeoisie, their right wing become our enemy, and their left wing become our friend. But we must constantly be on our guard and not let them create confusion within our ranks. Whoever sides with the revolutionary people is a revolutionary. Whoever sides with imperialism, feudalism, and bureaucratic capitalism is a counter revolutionary. Whoever sides with revolutionary people in words but act otherwise is revolutionary speech. Whoever sides with revolutionary people in deed as well as word in the revolutionary in the full sense. I hold that it is bad as far as we are concerned if I hold that it is bad as far as we are concerned if a person, a political party, an army, or a school is not attacked by the enemy. For in that case it would definitely mean that we have sunk to the level of the enemy. It is good if we are attacked by the enemy, since it proves that we have drawn a clear line of demarcation between the enemy and ourselves. It is still better if we have the enemy attacks us widely and paints us with utter black without a single virtue. It demonstrates that we have not only drawn a clear line of demarcation between the enemy and ourselves, but achieved a great deal in our work. We should support whatever the enemy opposes, and oppose whatever the enemy supports. Our stand is that of the proletariat and its masses, or members of the Communist Party. This means keeping to the stand of the party, keeping to party spirit and party policy. After the enemies with guns have been wiped out, there will still be enemies without guns. They are bound to struggle desperately against us, and we must never regard these enemies lightly. If we do nor now raise and understand the problem in this way, we shall commit the gravest mistake. The imperialists and domestic reactionaries will certainly not take their defeat lying down, and they will struggle to the last ditch. In real life case, it was actually an island. After there is peace and order throughout the country, they still engage in sabotage and create disturbances in various ways. Will try every day, every minute to stage a comeback. This is inevitable, beyond all doubt, and under no circumstances which me must we relax our vigilance. Oh my god, I'm stupid. In China, although in the main social transformation has been has been completed with the respect of system of ownership, and although large-scale and turbulent classes struggle of the masses characteristic of the previous revolutionary periods have in the main come to an end, there are still remnants of the overthrown landlord and comprador classes. There is still a bourgeoisie, and the remolding of petty bourgeoisie has only just started. The class struggle is by no means over. The class struggle between the proletariat and the bourgeoisie, the class struggle between the political forces, and the class struggle in the ideolo- ideological, ideological, I don't know, your thoughts, held between the proletariat and the bourgeoisie will continue to be a long, tedious, and at times will become very acute. The proletariat seeks to transform the world according to its own outlook, and so does the bourgeoisie, in respect to the question of which will win out, socialism or capitalism. It is not really settled. It's not. It will take a long period to decide the issue in the ideological struggle between socialism and capitalism in our country. The reason that the influence of the bourgeoisie and of the intellectuals who will come from the old society will remain in our country for a long time to come, and so will their class ideology. If it is not sufficiently understood, or is not understood at all, the gravest mistake will be made, and the necessary of waging the class struggle in the ideology. All my field will be ignored. In our country, bourgeoisie and petty bourgeoisie ideology, anti-Marxist ideology, will continue to exist for a long time. Basically, the socialist system has been established in our country. We have won the basic victory in transforming ownership of the means of production. We must not let we must not yet won complete victory on the political and ideological fronts. In all the ideological field, the question of who will win in the struggle between proletariat and bourgeoisie has not really been settled yet. We still have to wage a protracted struggle against the bourgeoisie and petty bourgeoisie ideology. It is not wrong to understand this and to give up ideological struggle in all injurious ideals. All poisonous weeds, all ghosts and monsters must be subjected to criticism. In no circumstance should they be allowed to spread unchecked. However, the criticism, fully reasons, analytical, and convincing and not rough bureaucrats